Alright, and we're back. You can tell by the screen that I did my daily stuff again. I hit the daily cap. I've done the... Oh, I only did half of the Clan Wars. I guess I'll do that. I got all these chests, the daily rewards to open up. I changed my Ram spam deck to a Mortar spam deck because Mortar is harder to play against, and when I'm off camera, I don't mind playing something that's difficult to play. So, I'm just gonna get right on into it. Click all this stuff. I'm just doing this on camera so I can, like, I don't know, maybe have one or two hype moments every once in a while with something actually good. Not that I would get anything good with my luck. A 3-star can be decent. 100 knights, I'll take it. 3-star can be decent. That was not decent. Coins are the worst thing that you can get out of any drop. Oh, we unlocked Rocket. Rocket's an interesting card. Rocket is like a bigger fireball. It's a fireball for 2 more elixir, does a whole lot of damage, but it travels like, you can see this, 1400 damage versus 689 damage. So it does double the damage for only 2 more elixir. More than double the damage. But you can see it takes a really long time to travel, and actually it's got a smaller area of effect. So the thing with Rocket is that it's a really toxic card, actually. The major purpose of Rocket is just tossing it at towers to get damage. Like, Rocket decks, typically what you do is you just defend and then toss rockets until you win. So, if I was going like ultra sweaty, Rocket theoretically would be the best way to play against mid-ladder players, but once again, this is a guide, and since this is a guide, I'm not going to go ultra sweaty. I'm going to play in a way where natural play can still get you to top of the game. So, I'm trying to make this like something that you can follow with your instincts instead of like having to like, I don't know, go whole hardcore or take notes or anything like that. So, today, this arena is 300 trophies, so I'm gonna push halfway through this arena in this video. Oh, there's more stuff to collect. Oh, there's also one more thing to do before we push halfway through the arena today. So, we got to 6k season points because I've been doing the grinding every day, and now we can buy our first Evo shard. So that is 1. That is 1 down, 1 month down. We're gonna need 12 of those at the absolute minimum, but much more likely we're gonna need 18 to 24 of those. I might actually reach the cap on this account to get this Evo shard. I'm kind of hoping for it because that's a month off. You get 2 Evo shards per month. We're gonna need, as I said, 18 to 24. So try and get as many of them as I possibly can while they're available. So let's see how this goes. This guy just got into the new arena. Let's see how it goes. He's level 7. Valkyrie is a solid play against Goblin Hut because she walks slowly and she can tank the gobs. I'm gonna Musketeer support my Valkyrie because there's a wizard. My Musketeer will kill the wizard, and it will kill the wizard and continue on to keep killing the spear gobs. I have to E-Spirit this. Ordinarily I would not have to because the Musketeer should one-shot them, but level differences, very fun. I'm gonna Musketeer in front here because I want him to play something on the barbs and then have to play another thing for my Musketeer. But instead of playing something for my Musketeer, he's just giving up his tower for no reason. Interesting. I'm actually gonna ignore these spear gobs so I can fireball. It's not the technically correct play, but it's tower down. I don't have to think about it anymore. Took 300 damage, finished his tower. Don't mind. I could have skellied, but if I skellied, I would have been down a lot of elixir. Well, actually, he might have given up. I'm just gonna ram the river, see if he gave up. Plus, I was at 10 elixir. Might as well just play something. Yeah, he definitely gave up. I guess while I'm just sitting here waiting for the 3 crown to happen, I might as well introduce like an advanced topic. On top of just counting what 8 cards they have, you can also count what cards they have in hand. So you remember, like, you can have 8 cards in the deck. You can have 4 cards in your hand at any point. So you can actually keep track of what cards they have in hand at any time. And because you can keep track of what cards they have in hand at any time, you can, well, that's a thing that you should be doing someday. Probably not for a long time if you're following this as a guide, but someday. I don't really have a good starting play here. He can punish me for playing any of these cards, but he can also punish me for not playing one of these cards, because I don't have a building in hand, so I'm just going to Arrows. Arrows is the safest play I could make. I'm going to wait for 10 Elixir. Well, since he Arrows, I'm going to Valkyrie back. Since he spent 3, then he can't fully punish me if I play something, so I'm safe to play something now. He should be at 10. I think he's leaking Elixir right now, actually, so I'm going to punish him for leaking. And the way to punish somebody for leaking is by going all in. And then Fireball the Barbs, that came down pretty late. I didn't expect him to have Barbs, so I didn't have the Fireball covered. So we know he has Barbs, Valk, Arrows, Mini P.E.K.K.A. That's 4 of his 8 cards. I know that whatever he has in hand right now, it's none of those 4 cards, because he hasn't gotten back around to them yet. I'm going to Valk E-Spirit. This is a little odd if you've been paying attention to what I've been talking about so far. Inferno Tower is my counter to building targeters. Ram is a building targeter. Why wouldn't I play my Inferno Tower on it? The reason I didn't play my Inferno Tower is because if I play a Valk E-Spirit, it's a little more risky because he might predict my Valk with something. But because I was able to pull off that defense, I got to have my Valkyrie counter push. If I played just an Inferno Tower, then the Inferno Tower is going to sit on my side and time out, so it's not actually going to get me any extra value. But because I played my Valkyrie on that, he had to play something extra. I'm going to Skelly's high for this Valk. I don't think this is going to full counter. I believe that actually will full counter. Okay, yeah. I'm going to do the same play again. This guy isn't smart enough to learn from his mistakes, so he's just going to keep letting me do that, so I'm going to keep doing it while I can. I'm going to hover Fireball now because he's going to Barbs. He's got Barbs back in hand. I'm expecting Barbs. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm still going to Fireball this Musketeer. I don't mind Fireballing the Musketeer because there's already something in front of it, so if he plays anything extra, I can Arrows. I will Arrows. It's not bad value. Now I have to play my Inferno Tower because there's no card combination there I could play to defend without using my Inferno Tower. So, defensive buildings are very good, but of course, they get you no counter push. That was a terrible play by him. He spent 5 Elixir to the river. I countered it with 4, so that's just flat out a negative trade. I'm going to instantly Arrows these so that the Skellies get off the map. That E-Spirit changed to his tower, so that's game over. He didn't play good, and he didn't have a level advantage, so between those two things, he had no chance. You notice Valk Skellies also counters a Ram. Ram is actually very easy to counter. Like I said it's a punish card, so it's good at countering people. It's good at punishing people when they are low on Elixir, but when they're high on Elixir, it goes nowhere. We finally unlocked Bats. Bats are an interesting card. They're a cycle card like Skellies, the Spirits, Stab Gobs. Spirit Gobs are kind of a cycle card too. But Bats, they're flying. I realize that just now I haven't actually explained what flying is. So, I mean, you know what flying things are. You've existed on Earth, I think. But it's flying, it can't get targeted by ground units. But Bats, there are 5 of them, and they hit really fast. So they're gonna do a whole lot of damage over time if you don't counter them. So Bats, the reason why I want to use them in my next deck is because these enemies that I have, they're not going to be all that smart. They're probably going to let the Bats just kill stuff. So that's why. It's only 2 Elixir and it can kill a lot of stuff, even if that stuff is over-leveled. I also saw there I unlocked another card. It was Flying Machine. Oh, Flying Machine and Zap. So I will talk about those. Flying Machine. Flying Machine is it's basically a Musketeer, but in the air. The drawback of being in the plus side of being in the air is that it doesn't get hit by ground things. The drawback of being in the air, it has less health and less damage. So, yeah, that's about how it goes. A lot of people actually really hate the Flying Machine because since it's flying and it has such a long range, it's actually very, it's very awkward to play against. You need to have very precise timings to handle it. If you don't have precise timings, then the Flying Machine is going to, it's going to hit your tower. It's going to connect to your tower really quickly, so you need to have precise placements and timings to handle a Flying Machine. And of course, nobody down here is good enough for that, so the flying machine is kind of a menace. Zap is a spell. It's a small spell. It's like arrows, but it does less damage. Benefit of Zap, it happens instantly. Like, watch the video. Bam, instant. On top of being instant, it also has a stun effect. So you remember how E-Spirit stun? It stuns for 0.5 seconds. Whatever it hits can't move for 0.5 seconds. Zap is that same thing, except instead of sometimes the E-Spirit dying and not jumping, Zap is guaranteed to always land, because it's a spell. You just tap it and it goes. Another benefit of Zap is that it's good for resetting Inferno Towers. So if you remember Inferno Tower, like, watch the clip, we can see it, we can watch the little movie. I think it actually does this, shows this for us. If you just let an Inferno Tower go, it will really shred tanks. Like, that giant is really tanky, but the Inferno Tower killed it with not even taking any damage. But you notice, with this Mini P.E.K.K.A example, when the Inferno Tower gets reset by a stun, like, say, by an E-Spirit stun, the Inferno Tower stops its charge. And since it stops its charge, it doesn't kill anything. So you really don't want your Inferno Tower getting stunned. E-Spirit is not actually a very good counter to Inferno Tower because it jumps on the closest thing. So if you just play something far from the Inferno Tower, then the E-Spirit won't actually reset anything. Zap, on the other hand, is guaranteed to get down, as I said, because it's a spell. So you can always just insta-zap the Inferno Tower, and the Inferno Tower will become a lot weaker. But, of course, I thought of that, so that's why I'm playing 3 cards that are weak to small spells. If they zap my Inferno Tower, they can't zap my bats, and they can't zap my archers. So there's synergy going on here, but that's how Zap works. Zap itself is actually a terrible card. Evolution Zap, great card, but we don't have to talk about that for now because we don't have to deal with Evos for now. Keep on moving. I believe the video will end at 1450. Yeah, so 3 more games. Oh, this guy's level 4. Zoinks. I'm on a ram. It's a solid first play. He had to spend 8 elixir. 9 elixir, actually, because he played an E-Spirit, too. I'm an Inferno Tower for his ram. I don't have anything better to play. I would have liked to play something else, but couldn't because I just didn't have anything in my hand. I could have, like, played Skellies to try and get to my Valk, but I didn't have my E-Spirit. I might have had my E-Spirit. Oh, I did. I played my E-Spirit on my on the minions, so I did not have the E-Spirit in hand to reset the ram. If you don't have an E-Spirit, if you don't have some sort of reset, it's generally better to play it safe when dealing with a ram. I'm just gonna go in again. I'm gonna hover my arrows this time because I'm pretty sure he's back to his minions. I'm actually gonna prediction arrows. That didn't work out at all. I suppose that makes sense for him to play his Mini P.E.K.K.A on my battle ram because Mini P.E.K.K.A is a much better counter than minions. E-Spirit to pull the Mini P.E.K.K.A over. Musketeer will kill the Wizard. The reason why I didn't Valk there was because I was expecting that he was gonna try and punish me for playing too much stuff in one lane. Like, if I had played my Musketeer, I would have been on 1 elixir when he played that Battle Ram, and that's Battle Ram's perfect opportunity. Battle Ram is made for punishing people when they're low elixir, so he would have got a lot of damage if I had protected my Musketeer there. That is part of card elixir counting. Elixir counting is like, I can tell how much elixir I have, right? But they're getting elixir at the same rate that I am. So I can also actually count his elixir. This is an advanced topic. So he played that Wizard in the back. If he played it in the back, that probably means he was at 10. So he was at 5. I played my Ram at the back, so at 10 too. So he's probably at, he played 10, I played 9. So he should be 1 elixir below me, except I just played a Musketeer. He played a Ram, so he's still 1 elixir below me. I have to arrows that to make sure it dies. It's too much stuff is happening for me to count elixir. I'm not good enough yet at doing that. But I believe actually that we should be almost equal on elixir because of everything that went down there. You notice I fireballed his Wizard. Oh, the reason I was okay to fireball his Wizard is because I knew that the Wizard would die because it was getting targeted by the Musketeer. This is a bad situation for me. I'm going to Spirit Skellies on this Ram. Spirit Skellies will take off the top layer, but it won't full counter the barbs. I want to see what he does. He's going to... Yeah, okay, he's going to counter my Musketeer with something. I'm actually going to let this Mini P.E.K.K.A get a hit on my tower. It's going to hurt, but you notice the reason... When I said let, I said I let his I said that I led it after I had already led it. I played my ram on the opposite lane to, like, punish him. Since I knew that he was going to spam, then by playing that mini P.E.K.K.A., he was going over-aggressive, and I got damaged because he went over-aggressive. Of course, he got damaged by being over-aggressive, but I was betting that I would get more, because I knew what he had in hand. I knew he didn't have elixir. I don't think I explained that well. So I kept track of what cards he had in hand, and I knew he didn't have anything good for my battle ram. I kept track of how much elixir he had, and I knew he didn't have enough elixir to put together like an awkward defense for the ram either. So he didn't have elixir for a good, he didn't have cards for a good counter, he didn't have elixir for a bad counter, so he had no counter. So I got damage, and because no counter, I got much more damage than just that one mini P.E.K.K.A hit. A mini P.E.K.K.A, by the way, do not ignore a mini P.E.K.K.A. It's extremely rare for it to be the right play to ignore a mini P.E.K.K.A. I did it there because I knew it was right. I guess I wasn't exactly setting a good example. So it looks like we're only 2 games off the halfway mark for this arena. Level 5. I feel bad. Like, why do they keep giving me these easy matches now? I got past all the level 8s, and now I'm just getting normal people. Oh, Giant the River. Scratch that, not normal people. That wizard, I don't think, is going to target my Inferno Tower because he played it on the middle of the river instead of the left edge. Kills the bomber. I spent 9. He spent 12. I'm up 3. So when I hit 10, he's going to be at 7. Now he is up 1 elixir, but of course I have a musketeer on the map. He's leaking now. The fact that since he's leaking, I'm going to punish him, because when you're leaking, you're just losing elixir. There is no benefit to leaking. You're just losing elixir. And because of that, I got a barbarian on the tower. That's good damage. That's about 1/3 of his tower in one push there. You really just cannot leak elixir. Valkyrie's a solid counter to barbs. The reason why I played my Valkyrie instead of my fireball, actually, I might not have had fireball in hand, but the reason why I played my, actually, I just made a mistake. The reason I played my Valkyrie instead of my fireball is because I was worried that he might have some fireball-based fireball units that I didn't know he had. Like, maybe he would go minions Giant the River and I would have nothing for it because I couldn't fireball the minions. So I played my Valk instead. But right now, I have nothing good to counter his Giant. So I'm actually gonna play aggressive here. Very aggressive here because he just fireballed the corner of the map. I hope that musketeer, that doesn't, okay. I was hoping the musketeer would target the wizard, but it didn't. I was also hoping the wizard would die, but it didn't. I'm gonna Valk this. And then Spirit Low. Whew, that was a nice micro. I'm going to be smarter this time, and I'm going to let the ram hit my tower and fireball the barbs. So this is technically the correct play. I know I took damage, but if I had played my Inferno Tower, I would have had nothing for this Giant. I'm going to Skellius to distract the archers. Skellius to distract the barbs, and then I'm hoping the musketeer will come back for the Giant, but it did not. That was a very aggressive mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm actually going to go for a tower trade. This is a new concept I haven't talked about. Tower trading is when you let your tower go and try to take theirs. Looks like I'm going to take a bit of damage on my Princess Tower, so it wasn't the best tower trade in the world, but you notice I am still up 900 damage overall, so that was a very bad situation for me, and I ended up only up. I lost a bit of my lead, but overall I kept the majority of it, so it was an overall good play. That's terrible barbarians. He should stop spamming stuff. He's spamming stuff and hoping that it will work. It tells me he's not thinking. And you notice that's game over because he played his barbs. He played those barbarians at 0 elixir. I wasn't strictly counting, but you get a sense for it after a while. Even without counting, you can just kind of sense that they're playing stuff on 0. He had 5 elixir, he played his barbarians. Those barbarians took him down to 0 elixir. Because he was at 0 elixir, I knew that if I just went in, he couldn't defend at all. I remember from last video, I'm not going to assume people can't activate their King Tower off my E-Spirit anymore, so I gotta be a lot more careful with that. That's a good fireball. Almost fully kills the Musketeer and fully kills the archers. I said that you had to be careful about leaving things alive with a spell, because if you leave it alive and they play a tank in front of it, then you didn't actually kill the thing, so you technically got no value out of the spell yet. But it was good value for me because I still kill the archers and I mostly kill the Musketeer. Yeah, that makes sense. So I mostly killed the Musketeer and I full kill the archers. So even though I technically left something alive, I still got my value already, so I didn't mind leaving something alive. And a Musketeer, support my Valkyrie. I'm actually gonna ram here. Dang it. I was really hoping that the ram would get down in time to protect my Musketeer. Oh. Woohoo, that's aggressive. Is that gonna walk forward? Oh, it didn't walk forward. Okay, that's my bad. I thought the Musketeer was gonna walk forward into the fireball range, but I played it on the wrong tile. I should have played it one tile higher. Not very often I make tile mistakes like that, but it happens. Am I really down 4 elixir? People really tend to only play things in the back when they're at 10, which implies to me that he was at 10 when I was at 6, so I would be down 4. Kinda sucks. Yeah, I think he was at 10. I'm gonna Valk arrows this. Just do a whole lot of splash damage. My Musketeer's still alive, so he still has to play something on that. So even though he played a 4 for 4 on my Musketeer, he still has to play something. Or he can just eat damage. Eating damage is fine with me. 11-18. 2 fireballs and 2 arrows. Well, yeah, I believe it's 2 fireballs and 2 arrows to take his tower, but that's lame, so I'm not gonna. I'll try and get through with legitimate methods. Never mind, looks like legitimate methods aren't gonna work. I'm still gonna go for my second ram though. That's why I rammed the back there. My intention was to try and get to a second battle ram. He still has to play something on that Musketeer, it'll get 1 hit on his tower. Good, okay. How much? Okay, I can just fireball to take his tower. I think he's trying to bait me to play my fireball in the other lane, but I'm not gonna fall for that. Wasn't born yesterday. E-Spirit in the same lane as the Musketeer. Valkyrie in the same lane as the Musketeer. That's really good arrows value. Musketeer to stop the Wizard. I played that 1 tile too low. That's 2 mistakes in 1 game. Dang. Well, that's it. I made 2 mistakes, but they weren't. They could have been game-losing mistakes if this was like high-level play, but this is not high-level. Oh, I unlocked Hog Rider. Hog Rider is another card that's going to be following us around for a long time. He is kind of the quintessential card for Cycle. You play him at the river, he might get damage, he might not. He moves really fast, he targets buildings. Unlike Battle Ram, he continues hitting. He targets buildings, and then he keeps targeting buildings and just hits them over and over again. The Ram only hits them once and then becomes Barbarians. The reason why the Ram is a good punish card is because even after they play something to counter the Ram, the Barbarians will probably kill what they countered it with. The Hog, on the other hand, he only ever targets buildings, so the Hog is something that you support. The Hog is you don't want to play a Hog alone if they're going to counter it. You want to play a Ram alone if they're going to counter it. Hog is better when you know that it's going to get through, and you can get a major connection, not a minor connection. Hog would actually fit very well in this deck, but it's only level 3, so I'm going to ignore it for now. I could use my wild cards, actually. I'm going to use my wild cards. The reason I'm using my wild cards here is because ordinarily, like, I should be saving my wild cards to max out other cards that are going to be in my next deck. But I'm already maxed on wild cards, so by not spending them, I'm not getting anything, so I might as well just max it out right now. Or at least level 6 it. Because Hog Rider is a much better card than Battle Ram, just objectively. Like, if I'm going to be playing stuff at the river, I would much rather be playing a Hog Rider. Oh, and that's actually the last game that we need to get to 1460, but because we got this new card, I will just go in one more time, play one more game. Just so you guys can see how much better it is, really, when I have Hog Rider in my deck. I can be a lot more aggressive because Hog Rider is a lot more punishing. I'm just going to go straight in for the Hog Rider. I don't need to wait for 10 because Hog Rider is a punishing card. I don't mind not being at 10 when I play it because he's not at 10 when I play it either. I'm going to arrows this. That doesn't kill his bomber. That's terrifying. Arrows is supposed to kill a bomber, so the fact that it doesn't means that I can never arrows a bomber again, basically. It's fireball or kill with other methods. I'm gonna E-Spirit. I wasn't going to E-Spirit. I was just gonna leak Elixir until he played something, but since I know that these people can activate their King Tower, I can never play my E-Spirit directly to the tower. I have to wait for them to play something that the E-Spirit will chain to. I'm gonna Fireball both of these. It's a decent play. Just ensure that my Musketeer and Valk beat his Wizard and Valk. I'm also gonna Hog again. You notice I'm playing that Hog at 0 Elixir. The reason I don't mind playing my Hog Rider so extremely aggressive like that is because, of course, the point of Hog is all in all the time. The Battle Ram, oh man, okay. And now you see why you don't play so aggressive. I thought he was down more Elixir than he was. He was playing very slowly, so I figured that he didn't have a lot of Elixir. Also, if you notice, this guy has a lot of level 7s and 8s. So, on top of, like... what? I don't know what I was gonna say, but I should be a lot more careful in this game. I'm gonna Fireball this way. You notice I'm Fireballing to the side. The reason I'm fireballing to the side was because I was hoping that the Wizard would target my Musketeer, which it did not. So that is another micro mistake that I've made. So I've got a steep hill to climb if I want to win this game. I need to get 900 damage. He's got Mini P.E.K.K.A. Valk, Wizard, Cannon, Bomber, Bats. That's 6 of his 8 cards. I'm not gonna Hog here because he's got Cannon in hand. If I Hog, he cannons. That's a -1 for me. No point. I'm gonna Hog Rider the back. This is an unusual play to say the least, but the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm trying to set up a very large push. I'm hoping that he's gonna play stuff that I can Fireball, like that. And because he set up everything so nice for me to Fireball, I got 1 Hog hit on tower. That was a bad play by me. Or a good play by him, however you want to look at it. I'm gonna Inferno Tower. Because the Wizard is on the inner tile, it will target the Inferno Tower. You notice he zapped that, so... okay. Not down too much. We both got a Hog hit on each other's towers. I'm not gonna Hog here. If I Hog, then he's gonna Cannon. I don't have Elixir for Hog Fireball. He let that go, so I'm only down 600 instead of 800 damage, so I covered the gap a little bit. Fireball this cannon. It's okay to be aggressive fireballing a cannon like that because he has to play more Elixir on defense. Okay, I'm no longer down Elixir. I'm no longer down damage, but of course I have to survive now because I went very aggressive there. I'm gonna do this. He can't Hog because I've got too much stuff coming down the lane. He could Hog now, which would be a very smart play from him, but he's not smart enough to do that. Arrows kills the Bats and can get 1 Hog hit on tower. I'm up quite a bit now. I'm up by 300. So it's looking pretty good for me. I'm going to Electro Spirit, pull the Mini P.E.K.K.A. towards my Inferno Tower. Valkyrie. The reason I play my Valkyrie directly on the Wizard is so that the Valkyrie distracts the Wizard while the Skellies kill the Mini P.E.K.K.A. If I didn't distract the Wizard would do splash damage on my Mini P.E.K.K.A. I mean, do splash damage on my Skellies, and the Mini P.E.K.K.A. would wreak havoc. I don't mind fireballing alone the cannon like that, because, the reason why I don't mind fireballing alone the cannon like that is because it's still tower damage, and... well, so what it did was, it was still tower damage, and it forced him to go in. Because if he didn't go in, then he wouldn't have his Hog counter in hand, and I would take advantage of that. But since he went in, it actually stopped me from playing my Hog, which was smart by him. But, of course, it's too late now. Yep. Hold on. Close game. I had a bad start. I should be much less aggressive because I don't have high enough levels. If I had higher levels, I wouldn't mind being so aggressive because my cards would just do more every time I play them. But I had to wait for him to give me I had to wait for them to give me an Elixir advantage before I go in. So yeah, seems like a good time to get off. We went through half of Builder's Workshop, unlocked Bats, unlocked Hog. I will be switching over to this next deck, hopefully in 2 videos. So we're making pretty good progress. Yeah, see you guys.